Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Sade. Thank you for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into what does it mean if you have your rising in the sign of Capricorn, also known as your ascendant or Capricorn in your first house. Now, if you have not seen any of my videos on what the sun, moon, and rising means in your chart, go ahead to my channel, Hidden Alchemy, where you can check out tons and tons of my videos dissecting these things. And also understanding the difference between your sun, your moon, and your rising is going to be very important in understanding what Capricorn means when it's in your first house. My schedule is open for reading, so head over to my website, Hidden Alchemy by Sade, where you can have your own personalized reading, as well as figure out how to get in contact with me so we can schedule that and make that happen. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into what does it mean if you have your rising in the sign of Capricorn. Now, the rising or your first house slash ascendant is the sign that you have in the first house of your chart, which then sets the tone for the rest of the other houses. So if you have Capricorn in the first house, that means you have Aquarius in the second, Pisces in the third, so on and so forth. And that really sets the tone to how you move in the world. That's what your rising means, how you like to move, how others see you, and how you are received by others when you are moving in the world. Now, the first house is the natural house of Aries, as well as Mars and the Sun. And the Sun doesn't like to share a spot with Capricorn. And the reason being, Capricorn is feminine in nature, it's an earth sign, it's cardinal, which rules how it likes to initiate change into the world. However, it's ruled by Saturn. And if any of y'all have been through your Saturn return or have a lot of Saturn energy in your chart, maybe you have a lot of Capricorn, you have a lot of Aquarius, then you understand that Saturn is a malefic and it's the planet that rules boundaries, restrictions, as well as obstacles, and amazing other things. I have grown to love the Saturn energy through going through the challenges and tribulations of my Saturn return. I have grown to understand Saturn and really truly appreciate the energy that it brings. However, when you put this energy in the first house, these are people who initiate themselves into the world on defense. Okay, because Saturn is about boundaries, and because Capricorn is feminine, it's about protecting oneself and reacting to what one feels from their environment. So, these folks are people who like to initiate action into the world by being these leaders, being these bosses and these CEOs, but really to protect themselves and to make sure that they can build solid infrastructure and foundation for themselves. Because Saturn is in this first house, these are people who a lot of other folks can really rely on them for being these solid forces of just true hard work and discipline and leadership. Like if you are a person that has a Capricorn sun or a moon or rising, people know that they can rely on you for work. They know that they can rely on you to get the job done. These are people who don't mind putting in the 12, 13-hour work days just to finalize a project because this is how they like to move through the world with their ego being connected to their work. That's another thing because the sun likes to be in the first house. The sun is the natural ruler of Leo. Leo rules our ego, right? These are folks whose ego is based off of the work that they do. And a lot of times, Capricorn risings can feel very insecure about themselves because they don't have that willpower, that power, and that courage to express themselves beyond just the work and the service that they give to others or the work that they're building. These are folks who can sometimes struggle with not feeling good enough because they're constantly climbing that ladder. And because Saturn energy just brings obstacles, challenges, it's truly the definition of no pressure, no diamond. That's these folks. No pressure, no diamond. So a lot of times, because these folks have been through so much, Capricorn risings go through so much, it can really break the ego. It can break the spirit because they can't express themselves freely and fluidly and creatively, as opposed to maybe if they had a Cancer rising or a Leo rising or an Aries rising, which is the natural house ruler of the first house. They are restricted from doing that because they have that because they have that Saturn energy. They are restricted from being able to really express themselves in this free way of not really caring, right? People who have Capricorn in the first house, they're not the ones that are like, oh, let's take this trip on a whim. Let's not think about it. Let's just do it. That's not them. They need to move from a place of strategy. They need to move from a place of discipline and organization because, again, since it's feminine, they gotta feel safe. And these are things that make them feel safe when they know that they are building and moving forward towards something that means foundation, means structure, means stability for them. Once they have that stability, then they feel like they can thrive on an emotional level because they have Cancer on that opposing end. Now, with Capricorn risings having Cancer in that seventh house, these are folks who really need to be in a nurturing relationship where their partner sees the hard work that they do and supports them. These are folks that really need support and will never ask for it, but they need support and they need to feel that support from their partners. And because it's Cancer, they can really, Capricorn risings, even though they're not ones to really emote their emotions quickly, they can sometimes wish that, you know what, like I would like a good cry, but I'm not sure quite how to do that because I've lived my whole life being this leader for everyone else. So their partnerships needs to bring them that space of warmth, that space of emotional security, so that after they come home from their long day of being that CEO and being that boss and doing all of this groundwork, they can really take that exhale and release all the things of the day and feel that safety in the home. These are big home bodies, so they really need the home to feel nurturing, to feel safe, to feel artistic. These are people who can really benefit from their home being an artistic expression because the work, they give so much of their energy to other people that they need that home to be a haven for themselves. Now, something that's also very important about Capricorn risings is they have Sagittarius in the 12th house. And because these folks suffer from not really feeling good enough and not really feeling that Aries fire of I'm powerful and I'm great, or that Leo fire of like I'm sensual I look great, these are folks who benefit a lot from a spiritual practice. Whatever you have in the 12th house, it means that it's something that is hidden from you, from your conscious awareness. Because it's Sagittarius, Sagittarius rules our personal courage, our personal confidence in our faith in ourselves, believing in ourselves, and our expression of joy, of being bubbly and being optimistic. These folks can have a hard time seeing the brighter side because life has been this trial and tribulation type of energy for them. So they benefit a lot from developing a spiritual practice which can solidify their internal faith. And when that internal faith is solidified, that confidence is going to come out in knowing that whatever they do, they're going to be great at. And then they'll be able to creatively express themselves more, trusting that, I'm good enough with just who I am and where I am, and what I give is enough and it's going to help me build on my journey. But they have to build that faith and that optimism through a spiritual practice. Once they get there, then they're going to really start to see a different side of themselves. They're going to tap into that Cancer side of themselves, of kind of moving with their intuition and being a little bit more fluid and a little bit more openly feminine. I feel like Capricorn in the first house, because they are workers and they want to build, they sometimes can move from a more masculine energy because a lot of people rely on them to lead. So they constantly have to take action and take charge. Coming into a spiritual practice is going to allow them to lean into faith and to slow down, not always feel like they have to do, which is going to bring them into that feminine energy of receiving. These are people who can benefit a lot from receiving the same energy, the same foundation, discipline, and support that they give to others. Allow other people to give that to you. That is definitely something these folks can work on. However, all in all, Capricorn in that first house, it is a challenging placement, but y'all are really truly the people that teach us, as well as Aquarius in the first house, that no pressure, no diamond. So something we can all learn from y'all is the importance of discipline, the importance of push through, of perseverance, and the importance of having a goal and knowing that it might take you 10 years, it might take you 20 years, it might take you a lifetime, but do not give up on your pursuits and to keep climbing and keep going step by step. So let me know if you have this placement. I would love to hear. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you for our next video, everyone.